flesh of man. God looked at the humility in his heart. And he watched over him till he got to the cross. God looked at how they slapped him. He looked at the stripes they beat with him. He looked at how they stabbed him. He looked at the vinegar. Who can do that thing amongst those who are following around? Which authority can lay down their life for someone to slap them? Who among the authorities can lift themselves? For them to go to the prison because of a small person. For them to tell Dangote to go to the prison because of his messenger. Do you think it's possible? Who are the ones that will tell it to him? Which judge will tell him? Which lawyer will tell him? Which person is going to tell him? But the one greater than Dangote that can kill Dangote, that can tell him to sleep and never wake up, and God is looking at him. His total humility. God was looking at him. His total humility. As he left the flesh of that kingdom, he left the flesh of the Lord. He left the image of the commander. And he joined ordinary men. He joined the sinners. They were going out and coming in together. If they should abuse him, he won't say a word. The Bible said, with being quiet, he was deaf because of where he was going to. What he has come to take in the world. What he has come to take in the world. What he wants to bring out. In that journey, with quietness, he was deaf. And his father was looking at him. When he got to the cross, the Bible says, he got to Gethsemane. He got to Gethsemane. The disciples left him. They could not endure with him. The Lord in man, he humbled himself. The Lord in man, he said, but thy will, let it be done. Because of you and I. Because of you and I. What are you going to live for? The name that Jesus was named, it is from heaven. It is not from humans. Was taken away from us. At the Garden of Eden, he wants to take it back. It's not something that must be in a hurry. Why are you in a hurry before the Lord? Why are you in a hurry? The Bible says he is the rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Those who are not in a hurry. Listen to what he said. Those who seek him early, they will see me.